Hey everybody, and welcome back to my mommy channel, made for moms by a mom. And before we get this video started, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can join the mommy club because it's awesome. This is going to be episode 3 in our little series about breastfeeding. I will link part 1 and 2 down below in the description box. Once I'm done with the complete series, I will make a playlist and then you can watch it anytime and share it with others. Before we get this video started, I'm going to make a quick disclaimer, as I have done in every other video, which is that I'm not a medical professional, nor am I a lactation consultant. I'm just a mom who wants to share my knowledge and experience with you guys that I have learned through breastfeeding my own daughter. Okay, so this video is going to be about breast milk, how it's made, the stages of breast milk, and then we're going to finish it up with just how to care for your breast. Alright, so let's get it started about how breast milk is made. There are grape-like groups of cells inside your breasts that make your milk. These cells are called alveoli. Small tubes called milk ducts carry the milk from your alveoli to the openings in your nipple. So the milk comes out of your nipple, and the small pimple-like bumps in the areola, which is the darkest part of your breast that surrounds the nipple, are called Montgomery glands. So the little pimples in your areola are called Montgomery's glands. These glands make an oily substance that protects the nipple. Alright, so when your baby is ready to breastfeed, then a message will be sent to your brain to tell your brain to produce that milk. It will let your breast know to release the milk, which is called let down. Let down is basically when your milk comes down from your breast. Some women can actually feel their let down. You may feel a tingly feeling in your breast, a warm sensation in your breast, or you may even feel a tingling sensation down in your uterus. If you do not feel anything at all, that is all right. Some women feel their let down, some women don't. Not a big deal. But if you do feel something every time your milk is about to come down, that is completely normal. Once your baby is finished feeding, your body will produce more milk for the next time your baby is ready to feed. So your body is a well-oiled machine. It's going to continue to produce milk. All right. Remember, in the previous video, we talked about supply and demand. So whenever your baby demands it, your body supplies it. So you don't have to worry about that. All right, now that we know how breast milk is made, let's talk about the stages of your milk. So in the beginning, when your baby is born, and sometimes as early as the 16th week of pregnancy, your body produces colostrum. Colostrum is going to be the first milk that your body's going to make, that your baby will get as a newborn. It can be thick, it can be yellow, it can be clear, it could be runny. It really depends on your body. This colostrum is jam-packed full of nutrients and everything your little baby's going to need to grow in the first few days of birth. Your baby only needs a small amount because their stomachs are really small. So you only produce a small amount of colostrum each day. Do not let this worry you. If in the beginning you're like, oh, nothing is coming out, this is normal. The colostrum sometimes is only enough to fit on a teaspoon. That's all your baby needs. Their stomach's very small. They don't need a lot of milk. This is normal and a good stage in the breast milk production. Okay. The colostrum will help your baby to poop and protect your baby from illnesses and also satisfy your baby's hunger and your baby's thirst so they don't need water. Okay. Because your breast milk is made up of water. Colostrum is also your baby's first immunization. So we've talked before about antibodies and vitamins and helping to keep your baby from getting sick. The colostrum is going to do that. Okay. 2 weeks after your birth, your body will start to produce what is called mature milk. Now, this is the breast milk, all right? And it will change gradually from colostrum to breast milk. So if you happen to be pumping, you can actually see the change in your milk and how it'll go from the day your baby is born until the 2 weeks that your baby is in the world. Your mature milk is what your baby will be drinking from the 2 weeks on, all right? And again, at every stage of your baby's development, the milk changes. So your body will produce more milk as your baby gets bigger because their stomachs will get bigger. So you never have to worry about how much you're producing because your baby's stomachs are small and they grow gradually, so the milk you produce grows to fit that. All right. So the mature milk has two parts, the foremilk and the hindmilk. The foremilk is what comes out first when your baby is feeding. It is thin and it is runny. Okay? The hindmilk comes out at the end. It is thick and it is creamy. The hindmilk actually contains the calories and the fat that your baby needs to grow. Most women breastfeed on each breast about 15 to 30 minutes. It really depends on your baby. If you let your baby feed for the entire time that they need without stopping them, then your baby will get the fore and the hind milk. Since the hind milk comes at the end, that is the really important part that your baby needs because it's what helps them to gain their weight and satisfy their hunger. So you don't want to take your baby off the breast yourself. You want to let the baby take their self off. That's how you know that they have received the high milk. If you were to actually put your breast milk in a cup, you can actually see your hind milk will be at the bottom of the cup. It'll be thick. Sometimes it's like a yellowish color and kind of like butter. If you were to melt butter, actually, this is a better example. If you were to melt butter, the thicker parts of the butter, the calories and everything will actually be at the bottom of the glass and there'll be a yellow color. And on top of the butter is actually the milk solids, which are white and runny. If you look at that, that's exactly how your breast milk looks. So it'll be like a yellowish, palish yellow color and thick, and then at the top it'll be runny and white. So that's everything that your baby is going to need as far as eating. Now that we've talked about this, we're going to talk about how to care for your breast. So you don't want to use any type of perfumes, lotions around the breast. You want your breast to be clean. Just use a little soap and water. Stay away from like body washes and other fragrant things around your breasts because your baby will ingest them and it'll mess up their smell. So moms, you and your milk actually have a particular smell. And if you cover that up with other smell goods, it can actually confuse the baby just a little bit. The baby wants to smell you, and that's how they know who you are and where their milk is coming from. So for me, for example, I just wore deodorant, and I made sure to wear a deodorant that wasn't very fragrant, because you really want your baby just to smell you and smell your milk and know where it is. Especially in the beginning, they have trouble seeing while their body and their eyes are adjusting. So they really use their smell to find your breast and to identify who you are. So you don't want to cover that up with very fragrant smells. Just using a little bit of soap and water will keep your breasts clean, because you don't want all that soap and perfume and stuff in your baby's mouth. It can also mess up the flavor of your milk. And in the beginning, your breast may be a little tender. Now, I've said before that breastfeeding doesn't hurt, and I'm not lying about that. It doesn't hurt. Your breast will be a bit tender because this is a thing that you're doing. Some people use nipple cream for that, and you can use it or not. I particularly didn't use it too often, because all you have to do is hand express or squeeze a little milk from your breast and then just rub it in. And honestly, that is the best healing, and it'll make your breast feel better, and you don't need the nipple cream. But if you decide that you do, then use it at your own leisure, and you can talk about the best nipple creams with your lactation consultants or your doula, or in your breastfeeding support groups, which I urge that you take again. Last thing we're going to talk about is flavor. Your breast milk is actually sweet. Um, you should taste it. It's sweet. It's not very sweet, like ice cream, but it does have a sweetness to it, which is very palatable for babies, because babies like sweet flavors, and they will prefer their mother's milk and the taste of their mother's milk over formula. Your breast milk can change a little bit depending on what you eat. It'll always be sweet, but sometimes it can have a little bitterness if you eat, some garlic or something bitter like an orange or a lemon. So just keep that in mind. But it's good to try different foods while you're breastfeeding, because your baby will get different flavors of food, and that'll open up their palates to accepting different flavors of food as they get older, in their baby food and in their solid foods when they get older. So that is it for this video, as far as how milk is made and how to care for your breast and everything. Make sure that you come back tomorrow, because I will have another video about breastfeeding. Once I get all of the knowledge and the information about breastfeeding out of the way, then we will go into more demonstrative type of videos, so that I can show you guys about pumping and actually getting your baby to latch. But I do want to do these videos where you guys can follow along and read along with me with these. So I hope you guys are enjoying these, and make sure to comment down below and chat with me, and I will see you guys in the next video.